the class is being recorded, okay, to help other students who are so busy and they are unable to attend the classes. So once the classes they are being recorded, so if we keep somewhere else and they will be so useful. Okay. As I told you that these classes are all free classes, and I started this concept to teach programming classes, especially Java, Python, C, C++, DS and AL, data structures and algorithms. So I want to enhance the programming skills, especially rural India, because in our India, so many rural areas are there, rural villages. The students they are from rural, and then they don't have facilities, especially that is what in rural areas. So that's why I felt that whenever I was in the army, as I told you that 30 years I spent in the army, and that moment I felt that, so whenever I come on retirement, somewhat time I need to give the students. And I apart from that, only not only the programming skills, I want to enhance the English communication skills. Why? Because all the classes will be taught in the English. Whenever I met the students, interacted with the students, I felt that they are not able to speak in the English, because nowadays the multinational companies, they are expecting that the engineering students, they must speak in English. So myself, I promised with me that these all free classes will be conducted up to my last breath of my life, and the classes will be recorded and they will be kept at the YouTube, and that will be useful to other purposes. Because no, not only in India, even though throughout the continent, we have 7 continents and 8 billion population, especially in Africa continent, so much of poor population is there. So not only to rural India, and even though I want to support to the rural world, if these classes will be useful to the rural people who are residing in the throughout the world, so I feel so proud that, because I have spent 30 years army and nation, as my forces taught me that there are 2, 3, 4 principles. One is that nation first, society next, family at last, me, I am extremely last. So 30 years, my young life I kept there, and after that, somewhat service to society, especially in the software engineering. So if anybody have, so now let us start the class. Okay. So intermittently, what happened due to the network error? So automatically class disturbed. So don't worry. Now let me check that everything is going properly. Okay, recording is okay. This is okay running. Yes, okay, everything okay. Now today class, we will try to understand that commenting here. 2 forward slashes for single line commenting. Okay, socket programming for connectionless protocol. Okay, so you simply call it connectionless socket programming. Okay, you connectionless socket programming. Okay, that is I think caption is right now. Connectionless. Okay, connectionless socket programming. So in the previous sessions, we tried to understand connection-oriented socket programming. Okay, here UDP protocol will be used in the previous starting classes when our networking, Java networking introduction classes. Within that, I have explained all the things: connectionless socket programming, connection-oriented socket programming. Protocols will be, what are the protocols will be used for the connection-oriented TCP protocol, transmission control protocol. For connectionless socket programming, UDP protocol, user datagram protocol, and some network terminology, IP address, MAC address, socket, port number. some terms I have tried to be brief. Okay, so you refer that the classes they have been kept in the YouTube, and you, if you have any doubt, you go there and refer from there. And however, little bit focus I want to, still I need to put somewhat focus, because if I directly go into the topics connectionless circuit programming, you will not be able to understand actually what is this. So first of all, let me finish this connectionless circuit programming. So actually circuit programming is what, to write the program code to communicate to devices, means to computers, otherwise to apps. Okay, like that. Okay, so for circuit programming means now, we studied, maybe I am feeling that you might have studied, otherwise no. So simply I want to clarify that. So two models in computer network. One is the peer-to-peer computer architecture, peer-to-peer networks. Peer-to-peer means what, all the computers, neither all the computers are servers nor the clients. Means peer-to-peer networking, whenever sometime client may be the server, and as per the situation, client and server changes. Means one client can become the server, same client sometimes situation, as per situation, it can become the client, client or host, everything is okay. Node, sometimes they are called node. Means there is no any fixed server, there is no any dedicated server, there is no any dedicated client. That is peer-to-peer networking. All clients are clients, otherwise servers, so as per situation. So but in client and server model, server is fixed and client is fixed. Okay, so that moment, if a client is sending a request to server, server needs to fulfill that request. Okay, so if client is requesting for any website, so server from that website, suppose google.com is a server. Okay, so microsoft.com, amazon.com, these are servers. So if client, we are requesting anything, we are searching anything, that information that is to be fetched from the server, and that is to be displayed to the what, client. So that moment, so these two connectionless circuit programming here, the client will request the server. That is what connectionless. Connectionless means whatever client is requesting, so that request, whether may be reached to the server or not, it is not confirmed, because it is connectionless. Connectionless means it is not reliable. Here protocol is what, UDP. UDP means user datagram protocol. Here that information, whatever the client is requesting, yes, sending, that may be reached or may not be reached to server. Okay, that moment server is sending, so whether it may be reached to client or not, there is no any surety confirm. That's why it is called connectionless. Okay, in connection oriented protocol, that is what connection oriented protocol, circuit programming, sorry, circuit programming. Okay, connection oriented circuit programming. So here what happened, it is a reliable communication between two devices. Reliable means, try to understand, already I have briefed all the things starting class, however I will recap that. So in reliable communication, what happened, the receiver, it acknowledge, send an acknowledgement to the server. Okay, I have received the information. Okay, if it is not received, it send another request. So many, suppose packets they are coming, so there every packet will be indexed like what, so total 30 packets are there, out of 15 16 packets are not getting. So that moment client send a request, 16 17 packets I am not getting, send them request again. So that is called acknowledgement. So this process will be in connection-oriented socket programming. So its protocol is equal to TCP, Transmission Control Protocol. Okay. So I have completed this topic in the previous session. So now today I want to discuss over this connectionless socket programming. So first of all, let us discuss somewhat theory over this. Okay. Here for this connectionless socket programming, we need two classes. Two classes we will use here. These two classes named as datagram socket is a class of and one more class datagram pocket. Try to understand that. POCKET pocket, that is what our shirt pant pocket. Here packet, POCKET. Let us see. So these two classes from what? Your .NET package. Your .NET package. So to write the code here, we need to import that package import.java.net package. Okay. Dot star. Why star after the termination? What do you mean of this line of sentence? I told you that Java is a main package. Within this, net is sub package. Within this, we are importing these two classes. But star means all the classes, whatever it has. So if you want to see whatever the classes, you can simply put dot operator. After that, you will get all the classes, list of classes here. Okay. Whenever you keep dot operator here, okay, so it needs to show all that packages, okay, list of packages it needs to show, but it is not able to show now here. All that I need to get a list of that, but here I'm not getting. Okay, leave it that. But net package dot, once I keep the dot here, all the classes to be displayed here, but not displayed, no issue. Star means all the classes will be imported after the termination. No. Next word, let us discuss every class here. Datagram socket, what it does. In datagram socket, it will create the socket. Datagram socket. This socket creates the socket. This datagram socket class, it is a class of .NET, this package. So this class creates the connection between what? Connection between client and server, client and server, okay, through socket. Socket is nothing but through socket. Socket is nothing but an endpoint between for two-way communication through socket. So socket is what? Socket is an endpoint. Socket is an endpoint between for two-way communication. Socket is an endpoint between socket is an endpoint for two-way communication. For two-way communication. So datagram socket class creates the connection. Okay. It creates the connection between devices. So what about the datagram packet? Datagram packet. Datagram packet. Datagram pocket. This class provides what data class. It is a data container. Simply, you can say that it is a data container. Is a data container holding what information, whatever you want to send. No? So it is a data container holding what information, a message holding information. Simply you say data, whatever the data. Okay. So datagram packet class, it is a data container holding data. So that data will be sent to the either server or client. Whenever client is requesting, so server, that request will be sent to server, and server fetches the data from its location, server location, and that will be sent to the client. Okay. So data container holding data. Okay. Now, so I think, is it sufficient? I need to put some word focus. I need to brief some more about the datagram packet and datagram pocket. Let us see some word I want to need. Datagram packet. Where is that? Not pocket, packet. Okay. PACKT. So let me put some word focus, some more focus over these two. So after that, we will write a program for server side and sending side, and server means sending and receiving means client. Okay. Somewhat datagram are collection of information sent from one device to another. Okay. So one point, simply datagrams are what we will datagrams. Okay. Datagrams are what? Datagrams are holding information. Datagrams holding information. Means don't confuse here. This packet, datagram packet, creates this class creates the datagram packets. Within that datagram, information will be in the form of datagrams. Okay, information will be in the form of datagram packet class. Okay, it will create a datagram packet. Within that datagrams, information will be in the form of datagrams. Okay. So because no, datagrams and packets both are words used in programming in the networking. Okay, whenever you study about the networking, in that moment, datagrams word will be used for user datagram protocol, UDP protocol. So packets will be used mostly with the TCP protocol. Okay, these will be routed through your routers whenever you study in computer science engineering networking. Okay, at that moment you will study about all that layer 2 switches, routers, MAC address, IP addresses, subnet mask. Okay, IP version 4, IP version 6, how to create the different networks. Okay, by giving of a single IP address, how to create the nets. Okay, and that moment how to configure the routers and layer 2 switches. Okay, that moment you need to create networks. Okay, one side your switch is there, 16 port switch, and that moment two PCs, three PCs are connected to the your layer 2 switch, and the layer switch is connected to a router. Okay, and that router is connected with the media, and that may be fiber optic media, wireless media. And after that, one side is a location, one building, you are there with your team, and that is a network, and you are sending information to another building. There is a layer 2 switch and router, and that both devices means your computers are connected with the layer 2 switch. Layer 2 switch is connected with your router, and both routers are connected with the media, optical fiber media, otherwise UTP cable. No need only optical fiber media. Okay, you can connect the devices with the UTP cable, otherwise wireless Wi-Fi media. Okay, so that moment this programming, this data, that is what connectionless socket programming, connection oriented socket programming, that you need to write like what you know. Okay. So datagrams are what? Consisting of information, huh? Consisting of information. Info means shortly I have written. Why do I need to write? Okay. Okay. Next, as I told you that once you are using this UDP protocol, so these datagrams, no need, no guarantee. No guarantee will be given. No guarantee they will reach the destination. Destination means maybe if sender is server is sending to client, so now destination is your client. Now client is requesting server, destination is server. So we'll reach the destination. That's why simply I'm writing a destination. Okay. Okay. Now come datagrams what? Because due to this protocol, it is what? Unreliable protocol. Here the communication is unreliable. There is no any acknowledgement between the devices. But TCP is connection oriented. It is reliable communication. Okay. Acknowledgement will be sent. So here datagrams, if many datagrams are being sent, that moment datagrams may arrive in misorder. Okay. May arrive, may reach, may arrive in, may arrive in, they will arrive not in proper order. We will write like that. Okay. Sentence. The datagrams may arrive in disorder. Okay. Disorder. You can write disorder. Disorder means not proper order. Disorder. Okay. Many datagrams are being sent. That moment, these datagrams may arrive in disorder. Okay. They will not follow the proper order. Okay. Whatever the datagrams they are being received at the destination, they will not be in proper order. Okay. That is one point we need to understand. And some more point is what? Sometime the receiver, simply I have written here RX means receiver, will not be able to, means whether the datagrams are maybe damaged, maybe lost in between. So receiver will not be aware of that. Receiver will not be aware of, receiver means client, otherwise server. Receiver will not be aware of datagrams missing, otherwise lost, any data lost. Okay. Receiver will not be aware of receiver will not be aware of datagrams missing, lost. Okay. I think this is enough. Now datagram socket class, I have explained somewhat about the datagram socket. This datagram socket class creates the connection and it is used to send datagram packets. Use it to send datagram packets over the network, over the established network, whatever the over the network. Okay. Any network, whatever you have established, either through UTP cable you have established, otherwise fiber optics cable you have, otherwise wireless media you are using. So that established over that established network. Okay. So datagram socket class creates the connection, and after that it will send the use it to send datagram packets over the network. That is, I think. Okay. Next is what about the datagram packet class? This I think is enough, huh? Otherwise, something I need to add. Okay, now let us try to understand some constructors within 10 minutes are there. In 10 minutes, I will explain something. After that, we will write some programming for that is sender side, how to write the programming. Okay. First of all, let me explain some constructors, methods for this datagram socket class. Okay. I am going to explain. So these are what multi-line comments. Huh? If you want to keep all the sorry, single line comment. If you want to keep multi-line comment, forward slash star at the starting point, and at the last you put star and forward slash. So now what happened? All the lines they are under comments. Comment these total lines. No need to write this every in front of every line. No need to write this two forward slashes. Now the total multi lines, all the multi lines are under comment section. So now the Java compiler will not read these lines. Java compiler skip all these lines. Okay, this much of data kept under multi-line comments. Java compiler will not focus over the, it will skip. After that, it goes for the main method. It looks for the main method because this is the entry point for the compiler. Whenever it finds the main method, after that, whatever the instructions, it will execute that. Okay. So here, datagram socket class, here I want to write some, that is constructor. Constructor is what? Constructor, it is a special method I told you many times. Huh? So how the constructor will be used for the datagram socket class, that is very important. Huh? So here the constructor structure is what? This constructor, what it does, so it will bind the port numbers, available port number. Okay, this construct datagram socket class. So simply I want to first let me write the code one line, then you will understand that. Suppose, as I told you that two classes we need. So suppose if I am creating the object for datagram socket class, this is the datagram socket class. For this, I am creating the object DS. DS means datagram socket. You keep your name, my name, X, Y, Z, doesn't matter anything. Simply X you write. Otherwise, my name Vasu. It is an object. Okay, otherwise you write obj object of datagram socket. So that will be somewhat lengthy. Na? So for simply DS means object of datagram socket. Okay. Now is equal to this is syntax to write, create the object for the datagram socket class. New keyword compulsory, and then again class name, again datagram socket. Okay. Now termination. One line of code I have written. Now this is called constructor. This is called the constructor, commenting constructor. Constructor for whom? This up to here, excluding this colon, semicolon, okay, only datagram and brackets. This is called constructor. So many times I told you that whenever any word is terminating with suffixed, suffixed means then next after the word, suffixed with a bracket, that moment it is called a function, otherwise method. So here datagram, this constructor is a special method. It is a special, is a method, okay, to construct the, to update the object properties. Okay, object is created here. For that object, it has object may have some attributes and some methods. Okay, so now I am discussing this constructor, that constructor, this is that constructor. Okay, So what is the role of this constructor? So we need to put a little bit of focus here. And I think some 5 minutes, 10 minutes terminated and you connect again, and second period you will write the code for this. Okay. Simply I want to write the datagram socket constructor. For this word, constructor of datagram socket, as I told you that datagram socket syntax like this bracket. So what it does, try to understand how it's so this constructor creates the datagram socket to connect for the connectivity. Okay. After that, that socket will be bind with a port number. Okay. So this constructor datagram socket class, and that class, this datagram socket class, this is the object, this is the constructor. It will create the socket, and the socket will be bound with a port number. Port number already I have told many times. Port number. Port number is what? Socket and port number. You need to understand these 2 points. I told you that socket is an endpoint between socket is an endpoint for two-way communication. I told you that. So what is port number? Every app, every app, every app will be identified with a port number. Every app. Okay. Because so many apps, once you click on that mobile device, you click on that app. So at the back end, it tries to connect with the website. It tries to connect with the website. So that website is hosted in a server. So on the mobile devices, whenever we click on any port, that port is every app is identified. Every app is having a unique means different port number. Okay. Now this app tries to communicate with your website. Okay. That website, it is HTTPS. HTTPS is what? 80 number. 80 is what? Port number. For SMTP, HTTPS is a secure protocol, hypertext transfer protocol secure. So its port number, default port number, it's that is 80. For SMTP is simple mail transfer protocol 25, like that. So every app is assigned with a port number. Okay, the port number I hope that you understand that. Okay. Now constructor, let us try to understand that constructor, how the constructor. So first of all, I am writing this constructor as it is. See, this is the constructor. Na? You copy this one. You copy and you put here where the constructor, paste. Now within this constructor means bracket is here na, within this. So if I pass any port number, if any parameters, I can pass the parameter. If you put the mouse here, simply it is indicating that this is a datagram socket is a class of what? This package .net is a package. So actually this is a sub package. This sub package is the package of this Java main package. So this class has this constructor. Within this constructor, if I pass some parameters like what, port number, whenever you write port number will be what? Number. So number is what? You need to declare it is which type of integer data. Okay. After that, some parameters like what? If you pass like this is init address next address. I will explain all these parameters. So two parameters I have passed here. So what do you mean of this? If I pass two parameters, what is the meaning of this? Try to understand that. This datagram socket, this is constructor. If I pass two parameters, port, that is integer type, address. So it is what? Address means IP address. Okay, two parameters I have passed. So now if I do like this, now this constructor creates the socket, creates the socket, and bind with what? Port number, and IP address.